Guys, this is how you make a video game movie. Not gonna lie, I had a lot of fun with Mortal Kombat 2. Now, for the longest time, the OG Mortal Kombat from 1995 was like my favorite video game movie. Probably up until about last night. And that's not to say that it was, great by any stretch of the imagination, but it was the only one that actually seemed to have respect for the game and giving it just sort of that kind of Enter the Dragon basic plot line, even though they weren't like totally accurate with all the characters, it was like they still gave the fans what they wanted. But that was great back in 1995 when I was a kid and they wanted to like open it up to a broader audience, obviously, so it was only rated PG-13. But I, amongst many other people, figured they need to reboot Mortal Kombat and make it good and R-rated with like the fatalities the exact same way that they are in the video game. And back in 2021, we got that, sort of. But they did the same mistake that they do, it seems, with every single video game movie ever made, where they make up a character who is not from the game and they put them front and center. I enjoy which I almost said Wes Anderson, the Paul W.S. Anderson Resident Evil movies, but that's not Resident Evil, So having this guy Cole be in the first movie was just kind of like, all right. I mean, yeah, they got the fatalities right and everything like that, but it also just seemed kind of like underwhelming, I mean, it wasn't a horrible movie. I didn't hate it, but I was like, could have been better, And the guy who played Liu Kang, at least in the first film, was kind of like, who's this wimp, Yeah, this is a vast improvement. I enjoyed the shit out of this movie. I really liked this movie, and I really recommend this movie. Let me be clear. I'm not saying that this is a good movie objectively, okay? What really makes a good movie, I would compare it, say, to Freddy versus Jason, okay? You go to watch Freddy versus Jason, you got the nice tight runtime. You got the two horror icons who, they respected the lore for both of them. There were some great kills in the movie. Plot-wise, they made it happen. They made it somewhat believable. I mean, yes, you have to kind of get by the whole, Freddy Krueger's lines being nothing but exposition, and this is my plan, so that the kids of Elm Street will da-da-da-da-da. Ha 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 ha. Same basic principle, okay? I wouldn't call the dialogue good, but I don't really think that the dialogue was supposed to be good. I think that they were really leaning into the 90s cheese, and I think that they heard the criticisms about the first movie. Not for nothing, but that was 5 years ago. They took their time making this. And I actually, because it does leave off for another one, I kind of hope that they had like two movies planned somewhat back to back, because they really went all out to service the fans in this film. I mean, Shao Kahn was a great villain. Not that, that's saying much in Mortal Kombat Annihilation. He was pretty freaking lame. That entire movie was lame. Gold, but like not in a, not in a deliberate way. Let's put it that way. I feel that everything from Mortal Kombat 2 was deliberate. I've heard a lot of things about like the CGI backgrounds or, the green screen, essentially, how it looks really fake and stuff like that. Yes, I mean, you can tell that it's green screen, but it kind of reminded me, not exactly, but it gave me the similar vibe of like the original Mortal Kombat, the exterior of the tower where the camera's kind of like going around the tower and it's all this kind of crappy mid-90s CGI. It had that sort of vibe about it. It had that sort of charm. And I do think that that was deliberate, as well as the fact that like several of the fighting arenas are like straight out of the game. It had the excellent fatalities. The characters from the video game were a lot more front and center in this one. The dude, Cole, I believe is his name from the last one. He is in it, but he definitely takes a back seat to all the other characters. And I don't even know if it's the same dude playing Liu Kang in this one, but dude, he beefed out. He really rocked Liu Kang in this one, and I really enjoyed it. Carl Urban, who is just like a nerd's wet dream. Anything that he comes, in contact with, he has total respect for the source material. It's sort of like Tim Curry, like no matter what he's in, no matter what like genre the movie is in, what genre the movie is. He respects it enough to go 110% in what the director wants. Carl Urban is like that with like fandom. He was great as McCoy, he was great as Dredd, and now he's great as Johnny Cage. And some people are saying, well, he's a little bit older and stuff like that. I think that worked for Johnny Cage's story, being the sort of like older, washed up actor with something to prove. I mean, not for nothing, that kind of is his story. I also like the fact that his superpower, he does have his like shadow kick in the movie, but like his superpower is basically like that he is an action star. Like he is an actor, and when he takes on the persona of, Johnny Cage, middle finger pushing up his glasses, that he becomes this sort of like action hero. And I loved the hell out of that. The movie does, I have to say, the first 20 minutes or so of it, I wasn't really sure if I was going to like it. It starts out really heavy, man, with, well, I'm not going to tell you. I'm not going to get into any spoilers here, but it starts out really heavy. And I was actually kind of shocked. I was like, damn, that was like dark for an opening. But it really sets the stage for the rest of the movie, which is a lot more lighthearted, even though there are some really intense sequences in this. Like when Liu Kang fights Kung Lao, that's not really a spoiler. It's literally in the trailer. That particular fight scene, like my heart was in my throat. It was really, really good, really intense, really well filmed. And throughout the course of the movie, I truthfully didn't know what was going to happen. There were several like legacy characters that I was like, oh, goodbye, or I was thinking that before the fight, and sometimes it happened, sometimes it didn't happen, which is good. It had a real unpredictability about it. The dude who plays Kano he and Carl Urban as Johnny Cage, in my opinion, like carried this movie. Not totally. I mean, the whole movie was good. Again, the guy who played Liu Kang was really good. The lady who played Katana was also really good. But like the guy who played Kano had some of the best snarky remarks ever. Like when he's talking to what's his name, Quan Chi or whatever the hell, he calls him a painted dildo, and it's just like, it's just so funny, dude. The guy's comedic timing was just on point. The movie is loaded with action. It has a ton of characters. I didn't even realize really until the end credits, because they did like an upgraded version of the Mortal Kombat song listing off all the characters that were in this particular movie. And I was like, God damn, they had a lot in here, man. A lot. Not dissimilar to Mortal Kombat Annihilation, but again, Jeffrey. But unlike Mortal Kombat Annihilation, all the characters had something to do. They all had their own little journey or reason for being where they were. In Mortal Kombat Annihilation, it was just sort of like, here's this guy, and then this guy, and then this guy, and they're just going to show up, and they're going to have a fight, and then they're going to die. And, it's just like, you guys realize you could have probably made like 3 friggin' movies out of this, right? Like, you just ate through Mortal Kombat characters like friggin' tissue paper, But in this one, I think that it was very well done. And again, it is with the fatalities and the gore and the violence, it is very much true to the video game. There are a couple characters who do things that are not really common for their characters, I would say, in the video games, but there's a reason behind it. It's not like the movie just threw their motivations out the window or anything like that. Things work out a very specific way. And honestly, I think that made the plot all the more interesting. I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed the detail that they put into deliberately making it like the video game. And, that's something that I've been talking about for a while, like dating back to 2017 on this channel, when I said that video game movies have yet to come. These bigwig studios, for the longest time, have gotten the rights to all these different properties, and they're like, here, let's screw with it this way. It's like, guys, this is based on a game franchise that is popular. Like, you already have your audience, bro. Just copy and paste, man. Just copy and paste. Like, take the shit from the game and just, like, add maybe a little bit more story, a little bit more structure around it, like, for the framework. But just, like, copy and paste. How hard is it? But Anyways, I mean, it only took them like what 30 plus years, but they finally freaking came out with one. This was a really enjoyable movie. Like I said, it's not like, you know, a good movie. It's a Mortal Kombat movie. Like, you go out to see the fights, you go out to see the gore. If you're a fan of the video game, I don't really see how you're not gonna like this movie. But you know, that's just that's like my opinion, man. You know, so. Guys, whoever saw it, comment, let me know what you thought. Did you like it? Did you not like it? I'd be very interested to hear why you didn't like it. But yeah, anyways, let's get a discussion started here. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate all of you. Consider subscribing if you haven't already. And that's all she wrote.